As an HR thought leader and leadership consultant with over 20 years of experience across various sectors, Mr. Yemi Faseun is well positioned to provide insights into these changes. His expertise encompasses HR strategy, organizational learning, and talent management, making him a valuable resource for professionals aiming to navigate and thrive in this dynamic environment. He is a seasoned business leader who partners with clients to drive talent and business transformation, recognizing that what led individuals and organizations to success in the past will not necessarily take them forward. Yemi is also an author and is known for his passion for work. He proudly declares that he loves Mondays. Make welcome to reInvent Conference 2025, Yemi Faseun.
All right, good evening, everyone, and thank you to the organizers. Pastor, thank you for inviting me. Like, madam, I didn't know about this assembly until a digital friend of mine, I'll say, I just know, I knew him through IG, mentioned the conference to me. Sincerely, I can't remember his name right now. And he said that you would love for me to speak at this conference. I'm like, okay, sure, why not? Let's do it. I know that I'm the one keeping you from going home. So I'll try and save some time. I'm even tempted to say maybe what I should do is to just summarize what Doctor has said, what Mrs. has said, and then Dimeji, and share the grace. What do you think? All right, so let me try and run through my conversations this evening. But I'd love to say 4 things quickly, because we are talking of career advancement. The first thing I'd love to say is that dream jobs are everywhere, but we're looking for dream employees. The tables have started shaking, right? Yeah. I said about 3-4 years ago that I've retired from shaking tables, but I'm still tempted on occasions like this once in a while. Everybody is looking for a dream job, everyone in career, right? But what we have stopped doing is to become dream employees. I promise you, and I'm not kidding when I say that. I'm in the HR space. I know so many of my colleagues who are looking for individuals in solid roles, solid organizations. They've been looking for individuals, candidates now for like 6 weeks to 8 weeks. They still can't find the right candidates. Just yesterday, somebody from Airtel impressed it on me again to please post a talent acquisition role on my platform, the YF Academy, because she's been trying to get people. As soon as I posted it, she sent me a message and said, now I'm getting traction. I hope, and I'm just really hoping, that 2 days from now, she's not going to say, Yemi, I didn't find anybody. But sincerely, there are dream jobs everywhere. But the question is, are you a dream employee? That's the first thing I love to say. The second is, you can change the course of your career at any time. I promise you. You don't have to start as an HR person like I did and end up as an HR person. The world has totally changed. One of the things, or one of the messages I preach these days is that this device, or your iPad or your laptop, has become the university of life. If you're still going back to school today, master's degree, or you want to jackpot to the UK to spend £20,000, think about it again. All the things you want to go learn, they are here. Question is, how are you spending your time on your devices? Taoma, Mr. Macaroni, Sabinos, who again? Say them, we know them, say them, yeah? Let's be real with ourselves. If I pick up my phone now and I see the badge of Taoma's new skate, I may be doing something at work, I might be reading something, and I see that badge come. Oh, she's released another skit. Maybe it's for Quadri or for, what's the name of the one who sings? You guys watch these things now. What am I tempted to do once I see the message come up? What am I tempted to do? Click on it, right? And then I'll watch it, right? How many minutes? 3 minutes? But if you want to see the full thing, where do you go? Okay. And then when you go to YouTube, you spend how many minutes? From 1 hour to 5 hours. Because you just do what? What do? You keep scrolling. The same number of hours you could have scrolled to get another certification. Think about it. You cannot outsource the responsibilities to be successful to anyone in today's world. The responsibility to be successful in your career rests squarely on you. You can't outsource it to your pastor, I'm sorry. Not to your parents anymore. It's now your career. And can I say, it cannot be to your line manager. Even your line manager is fighting for his own career. He's fighting for the next promotion and the next increase and the next job. And that's the person you want to outsource your career success to. What's going to happen? You become you become diminished in a scale of preferences. So who's going to hold that responsibility for your career success? It's you. And the last thing I'd love to say is that you are not enough. We say it a lot these days. Are you still holding the table? It's shaking, right? You are not enough. I hear people affirm it on their WhatsApp status. I'm enough. I'm more than enough. No, you are not. God has put you within an ecosystem where I need Dimeji, I need madam, I need doctor, I need pastor, I need my friend. Yes, I need my colleague. So do not say after today that you are enough. You are not enough. I worked in about 13 organizations in the course of my 8 to 5 career. And the first 2 jobs I got on the pages of newspapers. The next 11 were all referrals from friends and colleagues and line managers. All referrals. Because I found myself within an ecosystem. So what I say is that the universe has given us complementary resources for us to succeed in our career. So please, let's move away thinking we are enough or we are more than enough. Those are the 4 things I love to start with. And then the next thing I love to say is that the topic itself for me is like an anomaly. When I got it and I read it, Navigating the Future of Work, Strategies for Career Advancement, the first thing I said to myself was that something is wrong here. Who can guess? Who can guess what's wrong with that topic? Navigating the Future of Work. What's wrong with that? If anybody is still thinking about the future of work, you are living in the past. The future has happened. So what we are doing is to navigate the now of work. Between 2020 and now, the world has changed dramatically from a career perspective. Totally changed. Things have changed. I remember that I was speaking a lot in conferences before 2020, before 2019, before COVID-19, and most of the topics, honestly, were all about the future of work. Everybody was inviting us to come and speak, and it was about the future of work. But guess what? March 13, 2020, the future happened to us. And what I mean by that is COVID happened late 2019, but we thought that the sun in Africa was too intense. COVID wouldn't survive in Africa. So we were still thinking that the future for us in Africa meant 2030 or 2050. But March 13, there was an Italian who came to Nigeria. He came to Lagos, Murtala Mohammed International Airport, and in his briefcase was COVID-19. And our world totally changed. I promise you that then I was head of HR in an organization in 2019, and I said to them that we should start looking at working from home 1 day a week. And the organization said to me that it wasn't possible, that I just wanted to give people extra vacation days. But the same organization today, if you resign in that organization and you say you are going to Canada, they'll say, yeah, you don't have to resign now. You're going to Canada. You can continue working with us. So a lot has changed. And I promise you that in our different roles and careers and businesses, a lot has also changed. But guess what is happening? Not many of us are looking at the cheese that is moving. The cheese doesn't move in a day. The iceberg doesn't melt in a day. It's a gradual process. So In your job, in your career, in your role, are you checking the cheese? As an example, for myself, I realized that as an HR person, after having spent 24, 25 years in the space of HR, I saw that the cheese was moving. The barrier to entry, many of my HR colleagues would not like me for this, but I say it as it is. The barrier to entry became very, very low. There were many, many newcomers into this space, and realized that, hey, if you stay here, it may not be too easy for you to differentiate yourself. So about 5, 6 years ago, I started thinking differently, and I started thinking leadership. So after 24, 25 years, you will expect that I'll become a consultant, and my space will be HR. I promise you, in the last 3.5 years that I've been an entrepreneur, or maybe a solopreneur, it's been only about 2 or 3% of my projects that have been within the space of HR. The remaining 97% has been in the space of leadership. And guess how I transited? I transited through self-development. I don't have any, thank you. I don't have any certification. Thank you, sir. Let me quickly backtrack to say this, that in my 24, 25 years in HR, I didn't have any certification. I'm not kidding. I don't have CI, GCPR, all of that. Purely by self-development, by understanding that I needed to own my own career. I joined CIPM only in 2018 at the peak of my career, and that was CIPM chasing me up for about 6 years. And now that I've been in the leadership space for about 4 to 5 years, believe me, I haven't done any certification. I don't have any $4,000 to go and pay to John Maxwell to be a leadership coach. I am sorry. I don't have it. I mean, I could put that money to some good use. When I can read every day about leadership development on this device. AI is, when you were talking about AI making training, you use the word, to madam, I say it's become commoditized. All you need is connectivity and data, and you can educate yourself to the highest level in your career. But the point is, the distractions of today are too many. And we are getting ourselves involved too much in those distractions. Okay, let me move a bit faster now. Let me talk quickly about I've talked about the changing landscape. The images stole some of my slides, and it talked about reskilling. I'll talk about upskilling and reskilling, core skills for you to have in 2025 and beyond, and then how you need to adapt to the new era. And I'll just so that you know that I'm a Christian too, I'll share some stories in the Bible as I close. So the trends are totally changing in the world of work. The skills that brought you into 2025 may not sustain you even to the end of 2025. That is how fast the world is changing. I read English, University of Ife. I know at least one of my schoolmates who's a nurse now in America, from English to nursing. Is it doable? Is it possible? I know somebody who studied Yoruba, and then the guy can do coding today. So we have given him combined honors, Yoruba Tech. You can even have Islamic engineering. I mean, the possibilities, I'm just saying, the possibilities are what? Many. The opportunities are there. But the same data, the same connectivity that we are using in whiling away time is the same thing that we can use to advance our careers. And can I quickly remind you that while you're watching the Taoma and the Sabinus and all of that of this world, they're actually making money off your time. Are you aware? So what's changing? Fastest growing and declining jobs by 2030. This was a kind of projection. I'm just running fast. When was the last time anybody went to the bank to cash a check of 20,000 naira? Okay, maybe that was too small an amount. 150,000 naira. 1 million naira. So how have you been doing your transactions? Online. What's aiding all of that? Technology. So if you have a friend who says, I want to go into tailoring, as in I'm in school today, and the role that I want to do is to be a cashier in a bank, what are you likely to tell the person? Wake up. Because that role has fast declined. It was the entry into the space of banking so many years ago, but life has changed. If you're in customer service, I just use that as an example. If you're in customer service, I say to my friends in customer service, they should be thinking the future from a CRM perspective, not to become a customer service expert anymore. It's now customer relationship management or customer success. A lot is changing. In the space that I am, HR, believe me, AI is taking away so many of our roles. You don't need an individual to do payroll. The machine will do it faster, more efficient, with zero error. So who needs a payroll specialist? Just think about it. Another role, and this is not to scare anyone, another role that may be declining, accounting, bookkeeping, and payroll clerks. I'm just giving some examples, right? Graphic designers. In my academy, YF Academy, we do lectures Thursdays and Sundays. As soon as we finish lectures, one individual in the room will send a kind of summary of all the things we have done. This person did not study graphic designing in school. How did they pick up the skills? Self-development. So whatever role you are doing today, please be sure that something is happening around you. You therefore need to focus on two things so that you can be successful in your career. Number one, you've got to upskill. And number two, you've got to reskill. And the difference between the two is that when you are upskilling, you are getting better by the day in the things that you are doing right now. But when you are reskilling, then you can be like me, who is moving away from HR into the space of leadership, or moving away from HR into sales, or from accounting into tech. The possibilities are many. If you are in any profession, if you want to be successful in your career, wherever the level, I always draw the career triangle, whether at the base or at the mid or at the peak of your career, there is always opportunity for growth. Your objective is to be one of the best 10 in your profession. That is when you start becoming the dream employee. Organizations will start looking for you. So what's the difference between upskilling? Like I said, it entails, that is upskilling, improving skills to excel in current role. But reskilling talks to transferable skills. And guess what? As you do both, as you upskill and as you reskill consistently and constantly, understanding what the ecosystem is looking for, then you are at the point where you are not just employed, but you will be employable. One is short-term, the other is strategic or long-term. Where you want to be is to remain employable. That means you have many skills and you can go into different areas. But it won't happen to you because you wish it. I am sorry to say this. I know we are in church. It won't happen to you because you pray harder only. It will happen because you get ready for those opportunities. So the reasons why you must upskill and reskill. Number one, you need to grow your knowledge for your personal growth. What I say to younger people and maybe mid-career individuals is that your knowledge base should be seen from a T perspective, capital letter T. So in whatever you're doing, in whatever space you are, make sure that your knowledge is deep. And then make sure that you're picking up knowledge in other areas. So that you're not just deep as a professional, but you are also broad in many areas. I remember one time right after the merger between Stanbic and IBTC Chartered, I was the head of HR, and we were doing interviews for the head of sales. It was a new role, head of sales. And the personal and business banking executive, after we had interviewed 3 candidates, called me aside and said, Yemi, are you sure you don't want to do this role? I was like, from HR to sales. But guess what? I had done it before. At Standard Chartered, I was in HR. I posted the vacancy for sales manager on secured lending twice internally, and nobody responded. Nobody in the organization. I just walked up to my, you could say stupidly, to my boss, because in HR, nobody was telling me to run after targets. I wasn't doing cabal. I wasn't looking after any figure and all of that. And then I, on my own by myself, went to meet my boss to say I was going to go to sales. And that was because I just wanted to learn and improve. And guess what? I took on the job. And I think it was in that role that I reconnected with Fela, if I remember. Fela is in the room. No, it was my junior. I was going to say we were mates in Ife. No, it was my junior in Ife. But it was when I was selling unsecured loans, and it gave me access to many organizations in Nigeria. That was when I reconnected with someone like Fela King. And guess what? The network that I built there, this was 1996, 97, those networks still stand solid till today. So when I was now the head of HR at Stanbic, and I was asking deep strategic questions about sales, the director called me and said, Yemi, don't you want to do this role? And I said, no, I wasn't ready. Because I did that for 1 year, and then I went back into HR. But what I'm saying is develop a T-shaped approach to your learning. Meeting job requirements or qualifications. One of the things we face as HR people, and I'll tell you, if I post a vacancy today and I say I'm looking for a sales director, there will be some individuals in the room, virtual room, who will apply just after NYSC. They will do it by faith. By faith, Abraham stepped out, right? But make sure that you are doing some things back end first before you come to the forefront to apply for the roles that you qualify for. Honestly, HR people are not stupid. Faith is good, I understand, but there is a job description for every role. We had a conversation on my platform, and it's about the lady. I'm sure we all have seen the video. I don't want to call it a rant. What should we call it? An expression about Nigeria. And everybody's been saying all sorts of things and all that. And there's been so many conversations on so many platforms about how great Nigeria is not at the moment. But guess what? That is not the concentration of somebody who wants to be. That should not be the concentration of somebody who wants to be successful in career. Your concentration is value, value, value. You need to add value to yourself to the point where you dictate the terms of your employment. You don't think it's happening? I promise you it's happening. It has happened before, it's still happening. Where they will give you an X package and you say, no, guys, I'm not interested. And you walk away, they will call you back. We will add 2 million naira. And you say, no, add 5 million naira. And they'll say, okay, we will see what we can do. Let me give you an example of what happened to me. The same Stanbic organization. I joined and we were ring-fencing about 10% of the workforce to not leave the organization in view of the merger that was coming on. And as the head of HR, I was individually giving people the checks, 1 year's salary for them to not leave the organization. We were giving them one check. So if somebody was earning 20 million naira, we gave them a check of 20 million naira to say, a merger is about to happen. We don't want you to leave us in 2 to 3 years. Take 20 million naira. I just joined the organization, and that was one of my first assignments. It was painful. You know, because I had not added enough value for me to be in that pool. But I was the agent giving people their checks. As I was giving them their check, I was looking at them with bombastic side eye. In my mind, I was like, so you are collecting this money from me, right? But I waited until end of the year of that year. That was 2007. 2007. I waited till the end of the year. The regional managing director was overseeing Nigeria and Ghana. He called me into his office one day and gave me a very small piece of paper. I will not forget. He just wrote 2 names, Jumoke and Babatunde. I won't tell you their surnames so that you won't go and check online. And he said, Yemi, include these 2 people in the retention pool. And then he signed it. I took the piece of paper from him. I share this story every time. And then I took one leg outside of his office. And then I had a conversation with myself, a value-based conversation. Yemi, if you take that second leg out, you have missed out. And I thought about, in milliseconds, like we say, my life flashed in front of me. All the things that I had done within the organization between March and December, I remember, and I thought to myself, I'd added enough value. So I took the leg back into his office, and I said, Gregory, don't you think my name should be on this list? Tough, hard, harsh South African guy. He once sacked somebody who did not provide alcohol for TGIF. So you can imagine the kind of individual. But value gave me courage. Competence gave me confidence to say, my name should be on that list. And he looked at the paper and looked at me and he signed it off. And I got my own 15 million naira then. The point is, if you are not ready for opportunities, you will be making excuses about godfatherism and what is happening. No, she's dating the MD. Or that is the MD's favorite. Or that is the director's person. You'll be surprised that they have constantly added value to themselves, and therefore, like I said, they were dictating the terms of their employment. I'll move very fast. Now, we are moving, and Dimeji mentioned this, we've moved from a world of jobs to a world of skills. What the marketplace pays for at the moment is no longer certifications and degrees. Please don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you shouldn't finish your degree. Don't go and drop out tomorrow and say, oh, Yemi said we should. No. But the point is the marketplace is looking at what you can do with that degree, what you can do with that certification. I always say, let's take the case of football as an example. If you are in career and in a business, we're looking at you on the football field, and you must be playing in 3 different areas. You must be an attacker. You must be a defender, stopping the opponents from scoring, correct? You must be in the midfield, making sure that it's operational efficiency. Think of Thomas Partey. Gunners for life. All right. You are not gunners. I'll come and see you. How are you coping? Right? Think of Thomas Partey as a midfielder, right? And then the goal scorers. So 3 departments. I said that if you're a goal scorer, you must be bringing in the money, revenue. If you are in the midfield, you are in the HR, IT, supply chain, operational efficiency space. And if you are the defender, maybe finance, you know what I mean? Making sure that we are not losing money. You must constantly provide value in at least one of those 3 areas. And then if you want to be an MVP, a most valuable player, be a midfielder and be scoring goals. Think about it. So we have moved to the space of core skills rather than just roles or professions. Let me read 10 core skills for you according to the World Economic Forum. Analytical thinking. Does that relate to any profession specifically? It's all professions. We want to see you come with problems, but don't leave your boss's office by saying, okay, we have a problem. Oh. As soon as you say we have a problem, what should follow it? Proposed solutions. And don't let it be one solution. Make it 3. I said to younger friends, please don't wait until we promote you to the next level before you start giving us results of the next level. The level where you are now, start giving us results of the next level. So when you are not in the room and we are looking at your performance appraisal, the question is the individual ready for the next level? And then 2-3 people will say yes. Your line manager will say, when I'm not around, this guy stands in from me. Oh, that deal that we brought in, it wasn't actually from me. It was from this individual. Start giving results at the next level and get yourself ready. Resilience, flexibility, agility, leadership, and social influence. If I have my way and I can regulate it, I'll say that individuals 0 to 5 years experience, none of them should do hybrid or remote work. If I have my way, if I was president of the world or president of the workspace in the world, I'll say that if you have 0 to 5 years experience, go to the office and learn social skills. Learn how to relate with people. That is one skill that is fast disappearing in the workplace of today. And if you therefore want to be successful faster than your colleagues, learn social skills. Creative thinking, motivation and self-awareness, digital literacy, empathy, curiosity, talent management, service orientation. You see, we have moved away from professions into the space of skills. So whichever area you find yourself, make sure that those skills you're exhibiting. All right, so how do you therefore strategize for this? I think I have about 7, 8 things. Set your direction. Make sure you know your why. Japa is a credible alternative, but don't japa because everybody is japaing. Know your why, know your reason. Understand what your career is. Honestly, I promise you, I'm not kidding you. Year 2, Ife, as a student of English, I wanted to work with Arthur Anderson because I was already thinking about my future. This was in 1987. Some people are going to start guessing my age now. I can't claim to be a Gen Z anymore. So year 2, 1987, I wanted to work with Arthur Anderson. By all means, in 1999, I found myself working there as a senior consultant. You've got to set goals. You've got to have dreams. You've got to have ambition. Develop your skills. Reflect the areas of improvement. That's one of the things we don't do enough. We wait for our line manager to give us feedback about our performance. What stops you from doing a self-assessment? Constantly and consistently. Plug the gaps that you find by developing your skills. Get feedback. There's a difference between opinions and feedback. You must be able to sieve out what is opinions and make sure that you stay on the feedback. If your line manager isn't giving you feedback, please, can I say, today's Tuesday, maybe you want to ruminate over this for the next 3 days. Next week, Monday, knock on the door of your line manager and just say, can I have a meeting with you? Because we are at the end of the first quarter. Somebody should be telling you in 2025 how you're doing by now. And I agree. Line managers fail us a lot. They don't tell us. They wait till the end of the year and they tell you that report you did in July had errors. So don't let them put you on the jury box or witness box at the end of the year. Proactively seek feedback about how you're doing. Sometimes we think we are doing so well, but there's a gap between expectation from the people who manage us and the deliveries that we give on a daily basis. So seek feedback. Set performance goals and have action plans for your career. Let me go to the parting shot. I promised I was going to save time. Your career is as dynamic as the strategies of the business in the world of work today. Now, this is what I mean. Strategy used to be 10 years, Vision 2010. And then it moved to 20 years, Vision 2020. Right? If anybody is still looking at strategy, even from a 5-year perspective, you are already late in the game. You are wiped out. 3 years is too long to start strategizing. 1 year is too long. 6 months is too far away. Not 3 months anymore. Business strategy is a live document. You must revisit it every day for business success. And therefore, for you as an individual, career success as well means that you must constantly visit your career management plan. That is your own primary strategy for success. How am I doing? What is going on? You know, we have the tendency of looking into the mirror to see, I'm doing this job, I'm doing that. What we need to do is constantly look out of the window to see what's going on around us. So I'll say this in passing or as a parting shot. Remember Joseph. His updated skills made ways for him. Remember the 4 Hebrew boys. For them, opportunities met preparedness and success was like magic. The first skill that Joseph had was what? It was dreaming. The gift of dreams. Remember? He saw the future ahead of time. But I promise you, that was not the skill that took him to the promised land. Who can guess what the skill was? Interpretation of dreams. So he moved from one skill to another skill. So the skill of 17 or 13 years ago of merely dreaming was not enough. Because if it was just about dreaming, he wasn't dreaming anymore. It was somebody else. In fact, other people were now dreaming, and he was interpreting their dreams to them. So yes, start from dreaming. Start from having an action plan. No, try and visualize your future from today, but don't stop at dreaming. I see many affirmations every day on WhatsApp status. I am, I will, and other. Affirmations are not enough. Take action. Build on your skills. And your skills, like we said, of last year may not take you to the end of this year. Constantly update your skills. And then another thing that Joseph did that I liked was networking. You know, when he was in prison, he could have said, why me? Why now? Why God? I was holy and all that. I didn't succumb to the woman. Now I've landed in prison. But while in prison, somebody else had a dream. And what did he do with his skills? He offered his skills. He was networking, even in uncomfortable situations. That you're here today or maybe listening online, believing is a right step in a lovely direction from a networking perspective. And I'll say this about networking. It's not that you must join every group and then ghost in those groups. You don't say anything. The only thing is morning devotion. You post it at 6:30 a.m. and then you go away. And we don't see you until 6:30 a.m. the next morning. They are discussing economy, they are discussing career, they are discussing many things. You don't say anything. And then you say you are within a network. Your network is not your net worth. They have lied to us for generations. Our network is not our network. It is the network we add value to that becomes our net worth. And that was exactly what happened to Joseph. How about the 4 Hebrew boys? When the king, when they were in Babylon, the king was looking for people with the knowledge of science, people who understood the times and all that. He sent out men to go and look for them. The boys, that is Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they did not start building skills at the time when the skills were needed. They already had those skills. And then when the opportunity came, it was easy for the king's messengers to say, oh, we know some Hebrew boys who already have these skills. So I'm ending from where I started, that dream jobs are everywhere, but we don't have dream employees. The dream job for them to become princes, overseer of provinces in Babylon, the dream jobs came, and guess what? They were prepared. So when opportunities meet preparedness, we will be like them who do magic. Get ready for the future now. Be employed. Very good. But most importantly, be employable. Thank you very much.